I spent thousands of dollars to go to the 2023 Sim Racing Expo, so you didn't have to. Okay. Here is absolutely everything, or at least mostly everything, that was on display. Starting off, we have Trak Racing, which was showing off some of their motion systems, and I hope you like motion sims because there are a lot to cover, such as Live 2 Race, who was showing off their Pulse 600 6DOF simulator. Next up, I'm Sim, in collaboration with Deepbox, had yet again another motion simulator, this one in a very cool design. Camus was seemingly sharing a booth with ResTech, and together they had some sim racing wheels and cockpits on display. I thought this one in particular was very cool. Gridfinder had a few simulators set up, however I believe they were just doing a challenge for whoever could set the fastest lap to win some type of prize. I decided to give others a chance, so I didn't give it a go. MME SimSport, a company who got me excited a year ago when they told me they were sending me an expensive H-pattern shifter, only not to send it, was also here. And yes, the shifter that they did not send me was here. It felt very good, and along with it they had a handbrake and paddle shifters. Novus, a company I had never heard of before, had some type of unique motion platform on display. This setup with the 3 large displays was very popular. What I believe is TF Sim Racing was also here. I believe they were some type of esports team and they had a few pro drivers doing some laps. The Racing Hub is next. They are a software that analyzes your in-game driving performance and provides AI-guided feedback to tell you where and how to improve. There were other companies delivering a similar service on display, which I'll cover soon. VRS was also here. They had their high-end sim racing wheels and pedals up for testing. They had a very popular booth because they had Rensport up on their sims, which of course is unreleased. Senset was here with a small but cool looking booth. I'm not totally sure what they create, but I believe it's some type of motion or haptic hardware to provide in-game immersion. The highly controversial PXN was here. On display, they had their new DD12 wheelbase along with a very interesting looking wheel, pedals, and other peripherals. Hopefully I can feature these in my channel later on in the future. Taking up a lot of real estate, Bavarian SimTech, Tailored Rig, and Door Esports, which I believe is BMW's esports team, were seemingly sharing this space. They had a bunch of cool sims on display, as well as a Vantage, which drew a lot of attention. As you'd expect, Fanatec was one of the most popular booths. On display, they had several new offerings like the 12 and 15N Club Sport wheelbases, which I'll be reviewing soon, a brand new F1 style cockpit, which is coming I believe later this year, a new shaft extension, and the mythical Bentley GT3 and Podium Rally module, which at this point may just be a big tease. Somehow Fanatec also brought over an Aston Martin Valkyrie, so they must really be rolling in it. Almost if not cooler than the Valkyrie is P1 Sim, which brought over a Formula E car. With a large and popular booth, they had a bunch of high-end wheels and pedals to show off. One of the most interesting ones was this one with a large vertical display, something I've never seen before. A bunch of esport races were also going on throughout the whole expo, though I'm not sure anyone was actually paying attention to them. Anyway, Sim Shop, more commonly known as SRS, is a big distributor of all types of sim racing gear. Naturally, they had a little bit of everything on display. I think they did a great job at setting everything up in a way that people could play around and experience the gear they offer. Without a doubt the coolest and largest display belonged to Aztec Sim Sports. Very new to sim racing, they definitely had a huge budget for this expo as they brought over real-life cars, high-end immersive cockpits, Kevin Magnussen on a big screen, and of course their growing lineup of sim racing gear. They also gave me a behind-the-scenes look at some of their prototype equipment, which I can't show but I can confidently say is looking very promising. Something I very much value is how the exhibitors treat viewers like you and I, and I'm very happy to report that the whole Aztec crew was extremely friendly and helpful. Extremely friendly and helpful were also the guys at Conspit, who I would say surprised everyone with their exhibit. This Chinese company is unknown to many in the sim racing world, but they came into this event guns blazing with what I would say was the coolest sim display, which uses projectors to give a fully immersive peripheral driving experience. Along with that, they had a high-end prototype wheel which looks extremely promising, their already existing hydraulic pedal set with included haptic feedback, an adjustable hydraulic handbrake, and their extensive lineup of sim racing cockpits. They are currently looking for distributors in the United States, and with their extremely unique offerings, I don't think they'll have any problem differentiating themselves in this market. ProSimU is another company with motion platforms on display. This one, which had Dirt Rally 2, was a very popular attraction. Asher Racing alongside Track Time had a big exhibit. They were showing off all of their sim racing wheels, including this one made in collaboration with Seibelt and their McLaren licensed product range. A bunch of other cool products like dash displays and GT wheels were also here for people to experience. Track Time also had flight and driving sims on display. This one was very popular since it was fitted with the SimHQ active pedals. Oh, and they also had this McLaren P1, which is similar to my Miata, just a little more expensive. KW Automotive was promoting the message of Sim to DTM, and they probably have something to do with Asher Racing and Track Time as their logos were displayed on this 911. Earlier I said I very much value how exhibitors treated us viewers, and despite having some of the nicest looking boutique cockpits and peripherals on display, Get Closer Racing pretty much shrugged me off, probably because I'm young and not in their target market, and their owner, who I tried to talk to, said he was very busy when I tried to learn more. So cool products for sure, but I don't appreciate how they didn't even look my way. Anyways, on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, Seibelt Sim Racing was extremely cool, with the CEO of the company walking me through their entire product line and price range. These offerings from Seibelt looked extremely impressive, so I'm definitely keen on reviewing them on my channel sometime in the future. Acto Racer, who also makes motion platforms, was here alongside Simagic. Together they showcased some high-end motion platforms that were high in popularity. Sim Racing Pro, who I believe is a distributor, also had a sim on display. Grid and Go, another training tool, was on showcase here as well. Stealth Motorsports brought over a radical car, not too sure why, but it was cool. William Esports had a small booth with a bunch of drivers driving. PT Actuator had two high-end motion platforms on display, one called the Motion Dragon and the other called the Race at Home, which with its yellow accents looked absolutely awesome. Coffee Racer was here as well with some IKEA-inspired living room setups to show off its foldable coffee table that also serves as a racing simulator. Venom Sim Racing brought over a cool car alongside their lineup of high-end pedals. Sim Booster is the third training tool that also uses AI to coach you and make you faster in-game. The team here was very cool and also walked me through their entire product. SimRep Engineering was showing off some very high-end wheels, which your wallet is having nightmares about. And last but not least, Pro Sport Racing, a real racing team who I think has a sim division, brought over their Vantage race car. So that's just about everything in the 2023 Sim Racing Expo. Let me know your thoughts on this event down below. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing, and as always, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.